That's right. This is the part of the broadcast where I tell you a little bit about my personal news, about what's going on in my life, what's going on in my universe between the time period where I press the stop streaming button and press the start streaming button. That's right. And let me tell you, a lot has happened. Significant lot has happened, of course. I ended the broadcast on Saturday night. Not necessarily certain if I was going to stream the next day or not, but obviously I have a podcast with, 4 other wonderful individuals with their own unique schedules and circumstances, which is precisely the reason why they wanted to stream it. The podcast, they wanted to shoot it at 2. So I did whatever man does. I took a day off. Lord knows I took a day off. I'm texting my group chat right now from my family. I'm saying, can y'all please not stock the fridge with stuff? There's no sodas left. Let me tell you, folks, if there's any indication that I've lost the war, the protracted people's war of the fridge in the HasanAbi mansion compound, whatever, I gotta sit down. There is no better indication that I have lost the war and my mother and father and brother sometimes has won the war in this house than the reality that is my fridge right now. There is so much leftover food, things that I never will eat, things that they don't eat either. So I ended the broadcast after playing Starfield, and I have a lot of thoughts on Starfield, which I'll be talking about because Starfield in and of itself at this stage is also like newsworthy in a specific and very separate way. But I woke up next morning, went to the pop-up shop. I was very worried. I was very, very, very worried because I thought one of 2 things was going to happen. Either A, absolutely no one was going to show up because I have fallen off, or B, too many people were going to show up and people were going to actually, as a matter of fact, like call a SWAT team there or, a bomb threat or something like that. You know what I mean? So it actually went perfect. Bro thought he was Kai Cenat. No, it doesn't. You don't have to be Kai Cenat for someone to call a bomb threat. It went perfect. Here's why. I don't think it was going to be a Kai Cenat style bedlam situation no matter what, but it doesn't take much for Melrose Avenue to go crazy on a Sunday when there's a lot of foot traffic anyway, which is part of the reason why I was like really worried. Anyway, listen. Here's the thing. I didn't promote it that much for that reason. I didn't want to promote it too much because I didn't want, I never tweeted about it, if you guys noticed, because that's where all the psychos are. You know what I mean? So I only briefly alluded to it on stream and I posted about it on my Instagram a couple times, but never fully just leaning into the promotion. And I think it worked out perfectly because there were a couple hundred people that showed up and it was like a single file line, maximum security. It was great. It was awesome. A lot of people showed up. And I took photos with you guys. I talked to you guys. It was great. It was actually great. Well, the security guard outside was asking people in line who you were. That's pretty funny. If you promoted it on Twitter, crazy person would have showed up. Yeah, I think plenty of crazy people would have showed up if I was actively talking about it on Twitter or if I live streamed it. Those are the reasons why I did not live stream it. So it worked out really well. It was fun. It was great. I loved it. I enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it too, those who showed up. One of the security guards outside your line was a chud and was like, y'all shouldn't get into politics. Politicians are liars. I did not even record it for the blog, honestly. I did not even vlog it. Let me explain something. Why would I vlog it when the last vlog that came out on my vlog channel that HasanAbi runs is what? 8 months ago? There's 11 vlogs at this point that are on the docket. HasanAbi makes these vlogs like they're motion pictures. You know what I mean? It's just the amount of time he puts into it is crazy. Pay him more, bro. There is literally I have already told him this before. I'm like, dude, I'll do whatever. Just please put some videos out. Not the money. I mean, that's on you for trusting HasanAbi to do his job. He's too busy on Twitter picking up fights with Mr. Beast. I know. What was the coolest thing you signed at the event? Someone immediately underneath says, Hasan, you saw my pack of Iraq War most wanted list cards. Also, the guard outside was a total chud. He congratulated me for not yet proposing to my girlfriend. Yeah, that probably was one of the coolest things I signed. I signed an Iraq War most wanted list card. That was a big throwback. I love those things. Anyway, but it was great. And then I popped out. I had to do a bunch of meetings upstairs with WME, my agents, my managers, because they never have me physically. So they literally pumped a bunch of back-to-back meetings. So I had to do all that. And then afterwards, I said hi to the rest of the fans that were there, took photos with everybody, and then I actually snuck out and went to play basketball a little bit before I started the podcast. So I went and I balled up a little bit by myself, got a little cardio in, and then went shot the podcast, and then afterwards, you know, hung out with family. It was family time. That's how I spent yesterday. It was pretty good. It was rewarding. And then woke up this morning and I worked out, and I am feeling decent. Is that hat available to purchase? This is Todic's hat. This is Todic's merch. What tank top are you wearing? I need some new ones. This is the same. I literally got like a Calvin Klein box set from Amazon, and I've only worn them. That's all I've worn. Signed my vintage turkey jersey. That was pretty sick too. God, there was a lot of sick stuff. Awesome. I missed you at the meet and greet by a minute before you left. Austin has some bracelets I made for you. I hope you got those to you. Yes, I have all of the bracelets here. Look at this. It's crazy out here with the bracelets. We got a Blammo bracelet. We got a Yes Chef bracelet. And then we have a Kaya bracelet. There's 2 Kaya bracelets actually. Another Kaya bracelet. You know, things are looking decent. It was great meeting you at the meet and greet. Me and the other organizer for the PA union really appreciate it. You should have a wall for the unions you've inspired. I mean, I don't want to take credit for all that stuff. Dr. Disrespect Drama, we're going to talk about that. Don't worry. Did you hit the gym today? I did. I went back to the squat rack and started back squatting again with the barbell, which is pretty good. I'm not like, I've had some knee issues. I've had some knee issues on the workout front, but luckily, this time around, no back issues, no knee issues. I was able to, I'm back to like, I'm slowly putting up more and more weight. I think last week I did 235 for 15 or 245 for 15, which is, you know, decent amount of weight for that much, that many reps. And then this week, I did 275 for 10 at my last set. So that was pretty good. And I'm also focusing on depth as well, trying to make sure that I have a decent amount of depth. So how was Kaya around the crowds? Oh, dude, Kaya was insane. Kaya actually performed above and beyond. Here's a Kaya update. Let me give you guys a Kaya update. It's been a while since I've given you one because like she's too good. But obviously because we have a lot of people in the house and you know, another dog in the house, like she's kind of reverted a little bit, and I take responsibility for it. Obviously, this is my last like parasocial update before I blast off. Okay. I take responsibility for it. Gifted dog syndrome. That's funny. So what ended up happening was, she doesn't know. I don't really walk her too much because like I let her pee and poop in the yard. So she doesn't have issues. She hasn't had issues like peeing or pooping in the house at all, right? For months. But I usually don't walk her that much because she's always outside. You know what I mean? I take her outside. I take her to the gym where she's just like putting in the work. She's just wrestling, right? For hours and hours, and she gets to pee on the turf there, right? Or she pees on the turf in my backyard or front yard and poops in my backyard or front yard when she needs to get, like, I get her energy out, just not through walking. For that reason, I haven't like walked her too much. I only walk her on certain days when I don't actually go to the gym, right? And even then I usually just take her to the dog park or something, which is also turf. But ultimately, she's not used to peeing and pooping on walks. So now I'm trying to get her to learn that she has to pee and poo on walks because she just holds it in. And then when she comes back in to the house, she rushes to the turf and pees in my front yard because she's gotten so used to that. I have to, like, I walked her so much yesterday, got a lot of her energy out, and and then I took her to the Popup, and she was so good at the meet and greet. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy how good she was at the meet and greet. I mean, there's some Twitter videos, obviously, because a lot of people filmed it. Here's a little brief moment, but like, she was just in an environment where she's so overstimulated with so many people around. It's crazy how well she behaved. Like, she wasn't jumping on anybody. She would just like smell people a little bit, but she wasn't pulling too much on me, at least. She would sit, she would listen to commands. It was really good. I'm so proud of her. She was incredible. I guess she was dragging Blau around though. However, when I gave her to Blau for a second, I think people don't understand how big of a dog she is until they get to meet her, and how strong she is due to how big of a dog she is. She's like almost 70 pounds at this point. You know what I mean? I think people are too scared to pull her heart. I mean, what do you look at this? Blau is literally full blown pulling her. But yeah, no, she was great. She was really good. She was really, really, really good at, does she loose leash walk? Yeah, she's perfectly fine. Like her leash training has been going great as well. Even though I don't take her on walks too much, she's usually very good on leash too. I mean, guys, she was on leash for the entire duration of a meet and greet, and she was pretty good. You should get a harness so you don't choke her. Yeah, I'm not doing that because she is so hot. Like, she's double coated. There's no way I'm putting a harness or a vest on her. Like, in Los Angeles, she'll die. And no, I don't want to do a gentle lead either, because gentle leads are good and vet recommended, but gentle leads also have a tendency to break their habits of like learning how to walk on leash better. So they get used to gentle leads and then they can't walk on regular leashes. That ain't it, bro. Get a harness. Thin harness exists. Yeah, guys, this is not a conversation we're having. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but this is just not a input that you're giving me that I will take and listen to. Apologies, especially considering how we're currently talking about her accomplishments and how wonderful she is on leash, and how like well trained she is. Like, I'm just not gonna take your feedback. You know what I mean? Extra lame. I actually did expect better. Gentle leaders will hurt even more than a collar if yanked. I regretted not getting a harness earlier, man. A harness is the only safe way. There's no excuse. Lame. Extra lame. I did expect better, says Bobby Dog. Yeah, I'm good, man. Thanks, brother. I'm gonna keep brutally I'm gonna keep brutally restricting the airflow of my dog and hurting her because I hate her. But you do you. But have you considered Chad's advice might be good? Yeah, I have considered it. And I have realized that Chad's advice is not going to be as good as professional trainers and vets that I talk to before making decisions about my own dog, and also all of my personal experience as well. Harnesses would be fine for any other dog, not a double-coated dog that is literally designed to live in a mountainous region outside 24/7 with a massive amount of fur on her that gets overheated super easily. You know, that's part of the reason why I will not be listening to your advice, but thank you. Then move to the mountains? Yeah, true. Well, that's the only advice that, the only suggestion that you give me that is actually valid is literally, why don't you move to the mountains? Which I agree. I probably should, because this dog is very important to me. You need to use a chain choke and train her. Oh, no, I'm not using a chain choke for her either. I use one for Fish, but I'm not even using it for her. She's fine. How about you put a harness on me? No, I'm good, brother. Thanks. I used, for training, I used a choke collar for Fish for a little bit. Like the chain one. Because I was like, this is my first dog. I'm not trying to have this baby eater eat babies regularly. Only on the weekends. You know what I mean? And he was still a jumper. I'll admit, Fish, not as well trained as Kaya. Kaya, I have trained a lot better than Fish so far. Like, Fish was wonderful. He had a lot of great qualities, but he was still a jumper, and he absolutely still was, he would jump, he would pull so much. He was a sweetheart, but he would pull a lot. But you also have to remember, I have a lot more wealth. I have a lot more space, and I have a lot more time to train Kaya than I did with Fish. With Fish, I was working a 9 to 5. And that certainly, that in and of itself is a major burden, makes it a lot harder to difficult, and different breeds obviously, but still every breed is trainable. I'm a firm believer in that. However, like I said, it is a much more difficult endeavor to try and train a dog when you have a 9 to 5 and you can't bring your dog everywhere with you. Anyway,